person who's carrying him is not his father, and he thinks maybe it's a friend of his father, and it's this other teenage kid. And the kid says, "Do you want to? Can you run with me?" And I guess he's kind of groggy and confused. So he says, "Yeah." So he runs with this kid back to the kid's house. He takes him inside, and he says, I got all these baseball cards and other things that the kid's interested in." And he starts showing him the baseball cards, and he says, I'm going to have a party, and all these kids from school that he knows are going to be there. And so he kind of feels comfortable. He's looking at these baseball cards, and all of a sudden this kid, the big kid, grabs the kid's leg, twists it, and breaks his leg. And then so the kid, fights him off and tries to escape and climbs down the stairs, and he catches him and brings it back up. And then basically for the next 2 days, he basically breaks his legs because he likes the sound of hearing bones break.
Oh, wow.
And he just twists his legs, he breaks his thighs, he just keeps pounding them, and then he'll wrap them in socks to keep the bone straight or whatever. And the kid's just trapped there for like 2 days. Parents are looking for him, has no idea what's going on. And he's so he starts up talking to this kid, and he says, "Have you ever done this before?" And he says, "Yeah, with this other kid." And he names the name, and I think he says another name, but he couldn't remember it. But it turns out that the other kid was killed, and he doesn't know what happened to the other kid. But so at nighttime, this big kid would go out with his girlfriend, I guess, and leave him. They would beat him up really bad and leave him there. And so the first night, he tried to crawl down the stairs to where the phone was and use the phone, but he caught him. He came back and caught him, and beat the hell out of him again. And then the second night, this time he locked him in a closet, beat him up really bad, locked him in the closet.
No, so wait, is this like an adult? What's the parents?
It's a teenager. The parents aren't there. The parents are visiting somebody somewhere. So the kid's home alone for like the weekend. This is over like a weekend. So this kid is locked in his closet. Said it's really hot. This was in Wisconsin. Really hot. Locked in his closet. Broken legs. He's got internal bleeding really bad from all the broken bones and everything.
Uh-huh.
And so he manages to find a guitar. There's like a electric guitar in the closet with him, and he uses that to break through the door, unlock the door. And he goes downstairs, and he drags himself down the stairs, calls 911, and they think he's joking because he's very calm when he calls, and he says I'm the whatever, and they said they've been looking for him obviously,
right?
Because this is a small Wisconsin town, so they know who he is, and so they get the address from the 911. They race down. They said, "I think we know who this kid is." They know who he is because he's been in trouble before. They race down there and they find him, and then they go to the party where the kid is, and they arrest him, and he gets charged with I think he got 100 years for everything he did to that kid, and then a year later he got tried for the murder of the other kid that they had found in a river. They didn't even know he had been murdered.
Oh wow, yeah.
Yeah, he ended up getting. No, they thought he had just drowned in the river swimming or something, I guess.
Oh.
But he's going to be. I think he's due for parole in like 2110 or something like that.
Really?
Yeah, that's.
I thought you're like. That's not much of a 100-year sentence if you're due out.
2110.
Oh, 2110.
2110, yes.
Oh,
yes,
okay,
he won't be seeing the light of day ever again, yeah.
Oh, yeah. Dude, I tell you, people are freaking weird, dude. I don't fool around. I mean, I tell you what.
Oh, dude. Yeah. So that's just nuts. I mean, so that kid, as an example of a kid who he fought back with everything he had to try to escape, and then the woman who just went along with it and used her mind to outsmart him. And so you never, I mean, it's hard to tell, what to do in that situation. It's and that kid, oh, the poor kid with the legs broken. I mean, I don't know how many different places they're broken, and the way they found him guilty for that other kid's murder. They went back and exhumed the body. I guess they hadn't done X-rays the first time. They just figured because the body had been in the water for a long time, and they just figured it was drowning. They found he died from drowning, but they didn't check the rest of the body. And the breaks in the legs were identical to his breaks, so they were able to pin him to it. Yeah, that guy was a nut. Real nut.
Wow, dude. Yeah, I hadn't heard that story. That's
I
crazy.
hadn't either.
stuff.
I hadn't either. It was both those were just yeah. It's just. I mean, that's just stuff you hear like on Law and Order. You don't even think it's real.
Yeah, that's why, anytime, somebody wants to give me a ride somewhere, I just run screaming, no! I got work. You need a ride home? No! I just run.
Yeah, it's very hard to trust anybody.
Yeah,
but I mean but to get taken out of your house in the middle of the night, that's even worse.
Yeah, dude, that's ridiculous. That's crazy, dude.
Yeah.
I mean, that's...
That's wild.
How'd that even happen,
I know. It's scary. Scary.
Yeah.
That's just a monster right there. That's one of those guys that would just, they say he would have gone on killing.
Oh, yeah.
Nothing would have stopped him.
Continued.
Yeah, that was nuts. And he had, that was the other thing. They found a notebook in this kid's house, like a list of kids he was going to kill. He had already picked them out.
Right, because that's what I was going to say. It's like this kid, that wasn't random. He just...
Oh, no, he was a predator. Yeah, he was ready. He'd picked out the people he wanted. Yeah, that was crazy.
Yeah.
That's not even funny stuff. I don't know what we're talking about.
I don't even know why you're talking about that.
Well, it was so amazing.
You're talking about being compliant
and escaping. Yeah. You got to do it. The will to live has got to be... it's rough. You never know what to do. So you really can't fault anybody in those situations because who knows what the right answer is. You never know what those people are thinking.
Yeah. Anytime that your personal will is being you're being held against your will.
Anywhere. Yeah.
Maybe other than by being incarcerated by the police, You
got to escape, yeah.
Yeah.
Not that easy, though.
No, boy.
Yeah. Don't envy those people.
Nobody's ever wanted to kidnap me.
Well,
I feel kind of bad about that.
Maybe they did. Maybe they did, and you just didn't know it.
Well, there was that one time I was walking around down in New Orleans, and the guy pulled up and asked me if I wanted to ride. I said, no, I'm just looking for the YMCA. I think.
Lenny.
I think I did not realize I might have been giving mixed messages.
Mixed messages, yes.
Yeah.
So you did not get in the car with Mr. Dahmer.
No, I didn't. Yeah.
Yeah. All right, we're looking for. No, go ahead.
Oh, but I did go with that with the other lady though.
What other lady?
Did I ever tell you that story?
No.
So okay, so.
Was this on a highway in Florida?
No. I went to do a job down in New Orleans.
Okay.
And so I fly into New Orleans and I call the job, the field supervisor, field manager.
Right.
And tell them, okay, hey, I'm here. I'm, thinking that there'll be a car to come pick me up to take me to the hotel and all that good stuff. Yeah, no, he's like,
not so
okay,
much.
All right, I'll see you Monday. And hung up. So,
You didn't have a rental car or anything?
No rental car. Just
not allowed to rent a car.
Just a little bit of money. No, this is before I was banned from.
Everybody.
Yeah. Had very little money. Actually, it was during the football season. So whenever Atlanta was playing, so whenever Atlanta plays in New Orleans, a lot of out of towners come down and take up the hotel rooms. So all the hotel rooms booked, right?
Oh, yeah,
right near the airport. So I end up. Long story short, I end up sleeping on the roof of a Ruth Chris steakhouse. But
how did you get on the roof?
Oh, I climbed up.
Why? Okay, why did you go on the roof?
Oh, I figured that's my survival instinct. Off the ground, you're probably better than laying in the street, right? But
okay, but you didn't think about. I'm just thinking of alternatives to the roof of a steakhouse. I'm thinking of so many more. That's not even in the top 100.
The hotels were all booked. There was no hotels.
Did you think about getting a rental car and maybe going further out of town? I'm just thinking of things that would come to my mind before the roof of a steakhouse.
No, actually, I didn't think about.
No, not faulting you, Lenny. I'm just
no. That's actually a pretty good idea. Yeah,
hindsight, right?
Hindsight, yeah. But
so how did you sleep? What were you?
I didn't sleep well.
I imagine this is like a tar and rock roof.
No, it's one of those flat ones with the a lot
rubber?
of air conditioning units on top. So.
Right. What was the surface though? Was it just rubber stuff or?
Yeah, it wasn't rock and stuff. It was not bad.
Well, sometimes they spread the tar and then they poured all the rocks over it.
Yeah, no, it wasn't bad. It wasn't bad. So,
yeah.
Anyways, but prior to that, I was outside. I made some phone calls. Told everybody I was, safe and whatnot, relatively speaking, and I was outside of like a CVS pharmacy, and there's this chick there, and
okay,
she kind of
that's called a prostitute, Leonard.
No, she wasn't a prostitute, but she thought I was a prostitute or something.
Of course, a male prostitute at CVS. Yes.
Dude, it was weird. What ended up happening? The odd thing that ended up happening was so. I'm thinking, well, heck, at least, if I go...
Back up a couple of steps. What were you doing at the CVS? You were just standing outside?
No, I just made some phone calls, bought something. Okay. I had my seat
You're on
with me. I had my
okay,
seat
was this a phone booth, or were you on your cell phone? This is before cell phone days?
Before cell phone, yeah.
Okay.
So I went in and, she made some phone calls and stuff, got something to drink. I think it was just like chilling outside thinking, okay, well, I'm going to need to come up with some sort of plan.
What's the next step, right?
What's the next step, right? And this chick comes out. She's not, she's not unattractive, but she's not like, super attractive.
I got you.
Just kind of that weird kind of zone.
Mm-hmm.
Well, she starts talking to me. She's assuming that I'm some sort of tweaker, right?
Oh, okay.
And she's talking to me, and I said, so she's like, well, what are you doing? She said, well, I told her, I said, well, I'm actually looking for a hotel room because I got this job. and I explained the story to her, and she's like, oh yeah, okay, yeah. She's kind of like, she's like picking up on me.
Was she a smoker?
Oh, we'll get to that.
I'm picturing like this hair that's all fried, and maybe some teeth that aren't aligned right.
No, it's
and it's raspy smoker's voice.
She's not. She's not like she's not unattractive, but she's like one of those shady kind of
Yeah, I get you.
Kind of characters, right? So
questionable, right?
Questionable, but she had a car, and she's like, hey. Well, she said, well, I could take you to a hotel. And and so I was like, okay. I said, I kind of
sounds good.
Yeah, I kind of see where this is going. And yeah, I'd probably have done it. But so she says, well, first I gotta go by a friend's house. I'm like, okay. And
sounds good. More the merrier.
Yeah. So I come up, and so she goes in, and she's smoking crack, right? So,
see, I told you.
So they go to the bathroom. So they're like, hey.
Did you see her smoking crack, or did you just kind of assume?
I knew it. I said, hey, we're gonna go smoke.
Some crack.
I said, I don't do that, and I'm gonna be getting a piss test like bright and early Monday morning. So
yeah,
this isn't gonna happen. But so they're like, okay, cool. So my duffel bag was actually still in the car, and I left my door open. So. Well, what I did was, so they're in the back, and I'm like, okay, I know what. Tell me
you didn't steal the car, Lenny.
No. I said that was potentially my plan.
It's plan B.
Plan B on if things went too
south,
bad.
Yeah.
Right. But what I ended up doing is they had a bunch of all I had was my Walkman, so I stole some tapes, and then went out and got my backpack and.
That tells you how long this was. You were getting tapes for your Walkman.
Yeah, I had my Walkman. So I stole some tapes and hot-footed it out of there. I was like, whoa, dude.
Oh, so you just walked away?
Yeah, I just walked and ended up on the roof of the Ruth Chris Steakhouse.
Oh my God! Why didn't you go to